Hello, art students. Today we are going to be drawing animals and using texture to draw those animals. If you want to draw along with me, I will be first drawing the bunny and then second the bear. If you want to draw the bear, skip to 5 minutes into the video. So for your supplies, you will need a piece of paper, a pencil, a pen to trace over, and color pencils. If you don't have color pencils, any type of coloring tool will work. So when I draw my animals, I always like to lightly draw the bigger parts of the animal, so the head and the body. And I draw it light in case if I make a mistake and I can easily erase it. I'm going to go in with a darker line once I'm confident with where I want my animal to be. So I'm adding ears, anything that's in front of other parts of the body, and the face, so the nose and the eyes. Okay, so now I'm doing the body and doing the paws of the bunny. And I'm always drawing the parts of the body in front before I do the back. That way I don't have to erase a line. Now you're going to draw rings around the body of your animal. So my bunny has a round head, so I'm going to make sure my lines here are very round. And I'm noticing where the fur is growing. So whatever direction the fur grows, I'm going to make a horizontal line against where the fur grows. I'm going to go ahead and do that around the body, making sure they're round lines with the round body. So once I fill it in with the rings, I'm going to go ahead and make little dashes, short little lines with the direction of the fur. So the fur grows outwards on the ears, towards the back from the face, and then towards the back from the body. Now I'm going to add a background. So I'm going to try to add things that I would find in the forest. So I'm making a mushroom and blades of grass. For the blades of grass, I'm just going to try to fill in the rest of the background with those. I'm going to overlap and put some in the front just to fill up all the space around the bunny. Now that I filled up most of the space, I'm going to start adding texture in the grass as well. So I'm just making vertical lines on those vertical blades of grass and doing, it's kind of like a scribble, but not quite. I'm just trying to make some type of texture in the blade of grass. I like to refer to it as a directional scribble. Once you are done, go ahead and start outlining everything with a pen. If you don't have a pen, a black marker will work just as well. Make sure not to outline any of the texture. So I won't be outlining the fur and I won't be outlining the center of the blades of grass. Now that my bunny is all outlined, I'm going to take my colored pencil and go in the same direction as I did before. Small little strokes in the same direction as the fur grows. Okay? Same with the grass. You'll do the small or long strokes depending on what you did on the blade of grass, following the texture to continue the look. Once you've gone over everything in the same direction, go ahead and take a lighter color and shade in everything, making sure there's no white behind your darker brown lines. So here is my final result. I hope you like it. Now onto the bear. I'm going to lightly sketch out the largest part of the body. So I just did the head. Now I'm doing the body and the legs. And again, as light as I can so I can erase it later. Now I'm going to outline everything once I get an idea of where I want everything to be. Once you are done with the detail, go ahead and start making lines with the direction of the fur growth. So I'm making round lines around the face. I'm going to do lines going down for the legs and from the back towards the bottom. Now I'm going to do the small short hatches for the fur. Once you fill up the entire bear, go ahead and start adding detail in the background. So I'm going to do a log. I'm going to add some texture for the bark on the wood. I'm also going to do some trees in the background, making it look like he's in the forest or a sheep. I'm just adding trees to fill up the entire background. So now I'm kind of doing a directional scribble. So I'm going up and down on the trees, making it look like a bark. Now I will grab my pen, making sure not to outline the fur, but outlining all my objects. So the bear, the trees, and the log. Not outlining the texture though. Now that everything's outlined, I'm going to take my darkest colored pencil and start continuing the hash marks over my pencil lines, going in the direction of the fur growth on the bear. Now that I completed my bear, I'm going to grab a dark brown color and shade in the direction of the fur growth to cover up all the white areas on my bear. It's very important to shade in the same direction. Now I'm going to repeat the same steps in the texture around the bear. So the log on the ground, I'm going to make scribbles around the bark, then lightly shade in all the white areas and do the same for the tree, adding a directional scribble for the bark and lightly shading in the tree. If I find that I'm not doing this dark enough, I can always go back over a second time, adding more directional scribbles to darken everything up. So I completed everything, but I noticed my fur on my bear was kind of hard to see. So I'm just going to go over it a second time, making those black directional fur strokes. This is going to help the bear stand out a little bit more. So I'm finished with my bear. I hope you guys enjoy, and maybe you guys can make a different animal using the same technique. Here's my different animal that I created. I was trying to make a scary looking snake with red roses around it. This time, instead of adding fur with short little strokes, I use scales. See what different animals you can create.